stream.
Was it before Christmas?
No, I think we did one at the beginning of
Okay.
January, but
It's April.
it's April. So it's been 3 months. Thanks everyone for joining the live stream, coming to hang out with us. If you are watching the replay, I know we have a lot of viewers who will be watching the replay. Lisa, one of our top fans among them. You guys can still drop comments. I'll see them even after the fact, and will do my best to respond to all questions. But we're here to talk Disneyland and answer your questions about planning or really anything that you have to about Disneyland. Loads of comments already coming in. And so we are just going to jump right into it. The very first question that was asked was by Kimberly, and she asked about the changes to the Paradise Pier Hotel. What do we know about it? What's happening over there? And I'll let Amy answer that question.
They're painting the building. Just kidding. So they're changing Paradise Pier Hotel into the Pixar Place Hotel. Sorry, Pixar Place Hotel. So if you see any of those color changes going on the outside of the hotel, that's why. We've noticed it's very slow that they're painting that building. I think only like half of it is painted right now. Also, they're supposed to be getting a new restaurant on the main floor called Great Maple. And if I understand correctly, like that's already an existing restaurant, like in other places in California or something, like it's a chain or something. I've never heard of it, but like other people when they announced that were like, oh, I love that restaurant. So, we'll have to let you know, like once that opens, we'll probably go check it out. But it sounds like it's gonna be like brunch foods, pancakes, stuff like that, since it's maple.
If this is your first time watching one of our live streams, I want to give you a good heads up that we have two cats and they love to nose their way into the live stream. So if you see like something swishing by, that would be one of our cats.
Right here.
Yes. Just want a quick shout out to everyone. Hey, Anthony, Rennie, Rad, Edwina, Austin, Thosu, Jeff, Abby, Stephanie, Lindsay, Kamahina. So good to see all of you. Loads and loads of people ride the teacups.
Is anyone else having issues with the stream? Because Kimberly just posted a second ago she couldn't get it to work, but is anyone else having issues?
Yeah, let us know. I have my computer up here, and my computer seems to be streaming just fine. Also, if you see me looking off the stream, and then I'm reading the comments on my laptop. Okay, so other people, Kimberly says things are working fine. Okay. So there was a follow-up question to the Paradise Pier Hotel. They asked about using the special entrance that they have over there for early entry. I do want to test this out. I was actually looking at possibly staying at the Paradise Pier Hotel in June when we go. It would be $589 after taxes for us to do that. So it is like, ooh, I don't know if we want to or not, but I'm thinking about it. And so we'll probably have a video on that if we do decide to stay at the Paradise Pier Hotel. Right now, the only rides that are even open on that side of the park are the Incredicoaster and the Little Mermaid for early entry. Just around the way from there is, of course, Soarin', and that one's open for early entry. Otherwise, the rest of the rides that are open are really on the other side of the park. Guardians of the Galaxy, Web Slingers, Monsters, Inc., Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Those are a lot of the rides that are open for early entry.
I've seen other people report on early entry saying it was amazing. They got in, they rode a couple rides, and then right before everyone else got released, they said they went over and got in line for Radiator Racers, or at least like stood right by it. That way they like got on and off the ride in like 15 minutes essentially, instead of an hour and a half like it would already be.
We are getting loads of questions, so I'm just going to tell Amy right now, we're going to try to keep the answers short because I want to be able to get to all these questions. Edwina asks what is the time for getting... Oh, now I have stream. Okay, it just hiccuped. What is the best time for getting pictures of characters?
When you see them.
Yeah, at Disneyland, characters just kind of mill around. Hang out in Fantasyland and Toontown.
Exceptions would be if you do the Frozen meet and greet over in DCA.
Frozen meet
there.
That's
like a set location. And then I think there's a Princess one in Disneyland, like over in the little Princess.
And the Tinkerbell. You can go see Tinkerbell at Pixie Hollow.
Not there all day.
No, not there all day.
But if you see characters roaming around the park, like, go
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
meet them
go
because they
talk
will
to
not
them.
be there.
You can usually get signatures while you're walking. I've seen them filling out signature books while they're walking to a location. You might be able to stop and get them to take a quick photo. I know over at DCA, if you're into Avengers, probably in like the space of an hour that we were sitting there with some friends eating dinner, like 5 or 6 characters all swapped out at the Avengers building.
Yeah.
And so there's this one little nook in the corner of the Avengers building where they frequently meet, and they swap out like every
Now, if
5 minutes.
you want dedicated time to meet like the Fab Five or like Chip and Dale, I would highly consider doing one of the character meals because then you'll have a
Yeah.
little bit more dedicated time. Because honestly, when they're in the park, they're very like, oh, hey, we got to keep moving, that type
Yeah.
of thing.
Abby asks, I'm going to Disneyland in May. Is there anything special that happens in that time? Unfortunately, not. So everything sort of ends at the end of April. The food festival ends at the end of April, and then summer doesn't officially kick off, according to Disney, until about mid-June. So right now we're in the midst of what's called shoulder season. That's between spring break and summer, and not a lot really goes on in May, except for they've got Star Wars nights. That they have a couple of after dark events actually. Grad nights go on in May, and Star Wars nights. But aside from that, there's no festivals going on. There's no seasonal foods that are going on. Nothing like
Except
that's
right now,
usually
you would still
happening.
get the Disney 100 foods
Oh
because
yeah,
that's for the whole
yeah.
year.
That's for the whole
And
year.
honestly, enjoy the fact that it's in between festivals for food festivals at DCA because I mean, as much as we love the food festivals at DCA, it makes that park really crowded, and it makes the walkways really crowded. So, you'll probably enjoy the fact that it's kind of an in between time of the year to go.
Stephanie asks, "Is our channel full time?" And again, for some reason, the channel or the stream is freaking out again. One of the major problems and the reason why we don't live stream, just in case you're curious, is that we have very frequent problems with the live stream. Um, so I don't know why. It's just, I guess, the bad area. I'm on Wi-Fi. We just can't seem to get decent
Good Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi
here.
that allows us to stream very well. I can't explain it. We always have troubles with the live stream, so we don't do it that often. Hopefully, it'll cooperate with us. But is the channel full time? It's about half time. I have another side business, or I don't know. I guess I wouldn't call it a side business. It's a full time self employed business that allows me the flexibility to go into the parks a lot because I am self employed. But YouTube is currently covering about maybe 40% of our, required income to live and that sort of thing. So it's not full time yet, but thanks to being self employed, I am granted a lot more freedom to go to the parks than somebody who might have a regular 9 to 5 job. Anthony says, "Will I be trying any food items in Disney in Florida?" I will absolutely. I have a big list of food to get when I'm there, but it's not going to be any food festival items. I am specifically looking at eating from locations that I've never eaten at before, and also food that is available all year round. Because one of the things that I want to do is put together one of my walking tour food guides that I did for Disneyland and DCA that are very, very popular. The most popular video on our channel right now. And so I want to do those for the 4 Walt Disney World parks. I know there's a lot of food videos in Walt Disney World, but this is going to be different from what you usually see. And so I'm hoping that helps it stand out a bit.
To the person who just asked where the Holly Jolly Holiday Bakery is, it's right at the end of Main Street. So if you go to the end of Main Street and turn left, you're gonna find it right there, right before you enter Adventureland.
Chris says he's going to be there when we are in June, and he's hoping to see us and say hi. I would love to meet each and every one of you. If you see us in the park, feel free to say hi. If I'm in the middle of filming, feel free to come up to me anyway. I really don't
We
mind.
can pause and edit.
I can stop what I'm saying. I can say hi to you guys. I can keep going, and on screen it's going to look seamless. Well, there'll be like a little hiccup, but the power of editing is amazing. I really don't mind being interrupted. We were in the middle of eating lunch at Riverbell Terrace the other day, and I was filming some food, and I hear, Trevor, hey Trevor, and I look over, and there were some people waving at us, and they're like, "Oh, we watched your videos, thank you," and I was happy to say hi. So always happy to meet folks in the park. Feel free to stop us and say hi. If you are going to be in Walt Disney World next week and you see me in Walt Disney World, feel free to say hi.
That's a long shot.
I know it's a long shot, but surprisingly, we actually had some people say hi to us at the Great Wolf Lodge in Arizona.
Well, I had someone stop me in Target parking lot 5 minutes away from home too, so you know.
We're getting to be a little bit more recognizable around. So yes, feel free to say hi. Always happy to meet folks.
We are way behind.
Yes, we are way behind. Just loving all of the support here in the comments. Craig says we never miss an episode. Thank you guys so much. Thulsi says, "What's my opinion on appropriate dress for Disneyland?"
That's one of those things that I feel like there are people who probably need to dress more appropriately, but you know, if they don't get stopped at the front gate, then you know, obviously, you know, whoever's working the front gate has different opinions on that. However, I do know that like if you have obscene language on your shirt, like you will get turned around by Disney security or a cast member and you will get made to like go purchase a shirt. So don't do that. In our opinion, we wear something comfortable, you know, like
what I'm wearing right now, pretty much.
And then even for him, like the shirt he's wearing right now, we bought some of those like
they're like sport shirts.
They're like sport shirts, so they're not they're the like
the thinner,
cooler,
silkier type material. So yeah, I don't know. We dress pretty conservatively as it is, and I don't really pay attention to other guests. To be quite honest with you, I don't really look at them and think about what they're wearing at all. But you know, I would definitely just say dress conservatively in terms of no language on T-shirts and that sort of thing. I know that's a lot of that's what
if you don't want a little kid looking at it, don't wear
exactly.
it.
If a little kid would find it inappropriate to look at, then you probably shouldn't be wearing it. That's the only thing that I can think of. How many times have I been to Disneyland? Way too many times to count. Right now, I've been going about once a week to get all the content for you guys. It used to be we would go twice a month, so once every 2 weeks. Now we're going once a week. The number is over 100 easily. But we've been pass holders since 2014. In the early days, we only went once a month. It was just what my job allowed me to do because we went weekdays. And then, you know, in the last 3 years, I want to say we've been going twice a month. So, yeah, it's definitely over 100. Are you allowed to park hop over to the other park on an Oogie Boogie night? Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, to clarify, once Oogie Boogie is started, I don't think.
So. What I mean is if you were an Oogie Boogie guest. But you... Yeah, your Oogie Boogie ticket, I don't think would let you into Disneyland.
Yeah, so like your Oogie Boogie ticket gives you
a cat. That's all right. Your Oogie Boogie ticket will let you into DCA. If you don't have an Oogie Boogie ticket, but you're at Disneyland, you can't hop to DCA once it's closed.
Yeah.
But like for me, because I'm a pass holder, or if you have a ticket, you know, a regular day ticket.
So if you have a ticket for that day, that's a park hopper. You can hop all day up until when Oogie Boogie starts, and then at that point, you'll be in DCA the rest of the night. Yeah. If you only buy the Oogie Boogie ticket that includes like the 3 hours park admission, then no, you're stuck in DCA.
What are my plans for theme parks in the following weeks? Austin asks. So this Saturday, we're going to Legoland. We are taking Amy's parents, so it'll be the first time we've been to Legoland with them. They haven't been in years.
They haven't been since I was like a kid.
So they're looking forward to that, going to Legoland this weekend. Then I'll be at Walt Disney World most of the week next week. We're hoping to go to Disneyland again next Sunday. Just to talk about this, our channel used to really cover a wide gamut range of theme parks, and we've been mostly covering Disneyland as of late, and that's just because from a business focus, Disneyland videos are what is growing subscribership, and new viewers are finding our videos. So we've been focusing on Disneyland, and it doesn't mean that we won't ever go to the other theme parks. Like I said, we're going to Legoland this weekend. When SeaWorld opens the new roller coaster, Arctic Rescue, we'll have a video going and doing SeaWorld's new Arctic Rescue coaster. But we really have been shying away from like going to the zoo because we don't get quite as many
We'll
views
probably
from
go
those
once
types of
the
videos
summer stuff
anymore.
starts and put
Yeah.
out. We might put out a video then. But the problem with the zoo is like there's nothing new there. Like
Yeah.
nothing has changed since the last time we went. So
I did buy an annual pass to Universal Studios, and I intend to go back there.
He
I just
will.
don't know how often I'm going to make it back, but I do intend to go back there. Let's see here. First time watching live.
Thank you.
What is our best character dining? We actually haven't done any. I'm
None at
sad
Disneyland.
sad
Sorry, guys.
sad to admit we've never done any.
We always save our characters. So, like, for us, you know, for most people, going to Disneyland is a vacation. So, they do the character dining at Disneyland. For us, our character dining is when we're on vacation. So, we've done character dining at Disney World. We're going to be doing character dining at Alani next month. Like,
Yeah.
that's when we do our character dining. So, we honestly, like, have not done any character dining here.
At Disneyland, it's very difficult for me to spend money. Because I'm going there once a week, I really don't do the things that a lot of people do on vacations, like going to character breakfasts and character meals. I just booked a dining, Phantasmic dining package this past week. This is the first time that we've done a Phantasmic dining package.
It's the first time we saw
Ever.
Phantasmic, guys.
First time we've seen Phantasmic. Video coming out this coming week. Not by Friday. Tomorrow's is Genie Plus video, but next week, Phantasmic dining
It's like,
package.
we hate to admit that,
I
guys,
hate to admit it, but we don't like to spend money. We are the type of people who, I mean, one of the best videos on the channel is how to save money at Disneyland, because honestly, that's how we go to Disneyland. We're trying to save money as much as possible.
So for the people complaining that like our kids are eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, trust me, they're still getting plenty of Disney food. We're just up there so often that we like
at
have
least
to
one of their
supplement
meals.
with like snacks and
At
other
least
stuff
one of
from
their
home.
meals.
But yeah, Storytellers is, we've never gone for breakfast, we've gone for dinner, but everything I have heard for Storytellers breakfast is that it's an amazing character meal. So if you're gonna book a character meal, I've heard that one's way better than Goofy's Kitchen. I believe it might be cheaper even than Goofy's Kitchen. I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
But Storytellers is amazing. The atmosphere is great.
Kim Osborne says, I'm traveling to Disneyland in November. Any advice, tips, or what's the weather like at that time and the crowds?
Bring a jacket just in case. It could be 80 degrees still. It could be 50 degrees.
So we went to the very first day of Christmas Snacks, which was November 11th, I think, this year, and it was 92 degrees.
It was last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it last year?
This year was freezing.
No, it was like 90 degrees at the beginning of November, so it can be blazing hot or it can be cold.
This year we went like a week later in November, and the high that day was like 54 degrees. It was cold.
Yeah, so it can really be either or. If you were going in October, I'd say it'd probably be blazing hot still, but November is a bit of a toss up. Crowds wise, you're gonna have the holiday crowds, but it's not like, so long as you're not going Thanksgiving week, you probably should have pretty, average crowd levels. Nothing like overly packed. It'd just be like a normal, like visit to a theme park if you visit theme parks, that sort of thing. Usually the weeks to avoid are going to be Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring break. Like those are the three really busiest times at Disneyland.
Spring break here runs like for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Lots of questions.
Been trying to get reservations to Blue Bayou. It shows 0 times available even through May. Sign up for Mouse Dining. I think it's called Mouse Dining. I have used it to snag a reservation at Blue Bayou whenever there was none available, and I used Mouse Dining to snag a reservation to Rodeo Roundup, the new restaurant in Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's for 9 o'clock at night, which I'm not happy about. I still have the alerts up, so maybe something will pop up, earlier than then for me. But Mouse Dining sends you emails the second somebody drops it, so that you can quickly sign on and grab a dining reservation.
The other thing is you can always try a walk up too for these places. If you can, I want to say though, if you can't get Blue Bayou, go to Cafe Orleans. if you can't do Blue Bayou. Cafe Orleans is great food, great atmosphere.
Abby asks if Magic Happens is still happening.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is. I just got a refresh on a lot of the comments. So any comments that I was looking at just suddenly disappeared.
Whoa, are that behind?
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
quite behind. If I haven't answered your question yet, just type it in the comments again, because I can't go back and find. There's been so many comments coming in. I'm just going to start with what's easiest for me to see right now. Have I used Mouse Watcher? I'm assuming that's maybe similar to Mouse Dining.
Similar, but we always use Mouse Dining.
Yeah, I usually use Mouse Dining. So Mouse Dining is free. I don't know. I think Mouse Watcher. I think I might have heard about that. It might have a cost. Mouse Dining's free for the first four to six alerts or something like that. They give you quite a bit of alerts for free. So I would definitely recommend Mouse Dining if you just need a couple of alerts. And what I mean by a couple of alerts, so you could set an alert for lunch on a specific day and for dinner on a specific day. That's 2 alerts. And then if you're doing like the next day, like the 6th, then lunch and dinner are 2 more alerts. So the alerts do get taken up quite a bit, but highly recommend Mouse Dining if you are trying to grab a dining reservation that's very hard to acquire. Anthony says, I have a very specific question. I'm going to grad night on May 17th. Do you know what's the best strategy in the early access rope drop would be? So if it's kind of like, early, is it a morning early access? I don't know much about grad night. If maybe
is that morning or just early access in the evening before grad night? Because if you're talking about the like 6 to 9, I think that you guys have.
You can purchase a ticket for grad night that gets you in all day.
Oh.
The grad night's a little different.
Yeah.
Grad night, it's not like the regular nighttime events that just lets you in a couple hours early. It does let you in at 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
So
is that DCA or is that Disneyland?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that either. Which park?
Sorry,
just
guys.
Out of curiosity.
We do not know anything about grad night.
I've never been to grad night, so I don't know, because I didn't even start coming to Disneyland. First time I went to Disneyland, I was married to Amy, so it was like 23, 24 years old. So I don't know anything about grad night, unfortunately. Going to start with Disneyland. Okay.
So Disneyland, honestly, wait, when's our rope dropping video is already out, right?
Yes, but that doesn't include early access.
So then early access, honestly, I would probably go to Space.
I'm looking what's open right now. Space Mountain is the largest attraction.
Yeah, go to Space.
Space Mountain's the largest attraction at early entry.
Go to Space, go to Peter Pan.
Oh, yes, Peter Pan's open,
Peter Pan's open. So go knock out. Honestly, probably go to Peter Pan, then go to Space.
Yeah, if you hop in line for Space,
second,
like even 10 minutes after official rope drop begins at 8 o'clock, you'll be fine.
So go to Peter Pan, go to Space, and then go wherever.
Yeah. So we bought tickets, but it says we can't upgrade to the Genie Plus until we get to the park. How does that work? Yes, that is indeed true. You can pre-purchase tickets, or pre-purchase Genie Plus.
You're staying on property, isn't it?
No, you can do it anyway. Yeah. But if you didn't click the box to pre-purchase Genie Plus, I feel like
it's fine. You can do it.
It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah. I shouldn't.
Don't confuse them.
Yeah, don't confuse you. It doesn't matter anyway because you can't make your first reservation until you're scanned into the park, whether you pre-purchased it or not. You cannot make your first reservation until you are scanned in. It's not like Disneyland or Disney World. Disney World, they open up at 7 a.m. and if you're waiting until you scan into the park, you're too late for a lot of things. But at Disneyland, nobody can make reservations till you scan into the park. So don't worry too much about it.
Mallory, you had another question here. Scroll up, because she had another question earlier, and now I can't remember what it was, but it was important.
Where?
Scroll up.
Scroll up. Mallory, are the cubbies for valuables?
You do not need a cubby. So each ride should have like a little pocket. So like if you have something like sunglasses or your cell phone, you can put them in that pocket. Honestly, I just keep my cell phone in my actual like shorts pocket most of the time on rides. Even things like Incredicoaster, you can set a backpack on the floor and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
The only thing we recommend is on like Space and Incredicoaster is if you have a backpack on the floor, put your foot through like the strap of it or something, or hang on to like it with your hand down on the floor. But
I like to loop my foot through one of these straps. That's just me, just for like security's sake. But
you don't. There's no. You don't need a cubby.
You can take backpacks. They have a little pouch for hats and glasses that you can put on all the roller coasters. They have a little pouch. So that Is the Violet Pretzel at DCA? No. Violet Pretzel is at the refreshment corner.
And it's amazing.
It is.
Why haven't we gotten another one yet?
Literally the best Disney 100 snack that they have. Maybe. We've had a couple really good ones, but I love the Violet Pretzel.
We need to get it again.
Yeah, we better fast pass through these questions. I know. This is the most popular live stream we've had, and it was the last time we did a live stream. We had 6,000 subscribers. We're at 12,000 now, so we've doubled.
Which is crazy, guys. We doubled in 4 months. We were shocked.
It is absolutely crazy. Thank you guys so much for the support. Now's a good time to remind you to hit the like button, the thumbs up button. It helps just show our videos around YouTube. Click it on this live stream right now, but also when you are watching videos, if you would just hit the like button, it just lets YouTube know that you appreciate the video, and they'll show it to more people. More people will find our videos because of that.
The other thing we'll let you guys know on is if you don't agree with us, don't hit the dislike button, even if you don't agree with us, because that tells YouTube you don't like any of our videos.
It tells YouTube to stop showing our videos to you. So if you just want to
disagree with us,
leave a comment. I'm happy to have disagreements in the comment. We all have different opinions, and that's okay.
But don't hit the dislike button, please.
Yeah, that usually tells YouTube that I want to see less of this content. Okay, more questions.
Magic bands. Yes, we just bought one last week for the first time.
Yes.
And we loved it.
I loved it, so much. I didn't think I would, because we had Magic Bands at Walt Disney World, and I was like, that's a Walt Disney World thing.
Then we were like, we really don't want to spend the money to get Magic Band Plus, because you have to charge it, and it's that much bigger. But then we're watching fireworks, and it's like lighting up, and then it lights up on some of the rides, and we were like, ooh.
When you get off a Haunted Mansion, it flashes red and pulses like a heartbeat. It's
creepy.
Like, this is awesome. I love Magic Band Plus. That video is coming out next week, too. So you can look forward to a Magic Band Plus video coming your way.
It's not hard to carry around the Magic Bands, so just slap on your wrist and you're good to
go. Best advice for buying Oogie Boogie tickets. So when they announce a date to purchase them, the best thing that you can do is, usually it doesn't open till like 9 a.m., but if you're up at like 7 a.m., try to go on the page and see if it will like let you in a queue at least. It may not start for a while, but the earliest that you're in the queue, it's a first come, first served basis. And it's going to look like, oh, do I need to refresh this? Please do not refresh the screen. If you refresh the screen, you will lose your place in line. And it may take, sometimes it takes hours to get opened up. You have to just leave your laptop open. Leave the volume on. You could go do dishes or whatever. But when it's your turn, it'll go and it'll be really loud. And so you'll hear it, and then you have 10 minutes from the time that it lets you in to like look around and purchase tickets. I got tickets, no problem. I think it took me about an hour and a half last time. I got tickets for the opening day of Oogie Boogie without issue. I think I just logged in like right at 9 o'clock too. Not even necessarily early, but
didn't they give pass holders like early access to that, or was it not that?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know something I feel like we both got, but I don't know.
More questions. Is it necessary to buy Genie Plus in May?
Depends on what day you go.
The day that we just went, wow, that was a beautiful day.
We probably could have gone away with not having it.
We wouldn't have needed it. Yeah,
but
I don't
it
think
helped.
we would have needed it. Oh, it absolutely did. So if you look tomorrow, my Genie Plus video, at the end of the day, spoiler alert, at the end of the day, we saved 5.5 hours. That was how much time Genie Plus saved us, from the posted wait time to how much we actually waited. I accumulated it on every Genie Plus ride, and we weren't going crazy.
No.
We weren't trying to maximize it and use it on every ride. We were just casually doing it. We did 11 of the 20 Genie Plus rides and saved 5.5 hours of standing in line because of Genie
But we
Plus.
also spent a lot of time that day. Like, we actually waited for Rise. We
Yeah.
managed to catch it on a 40-minute wait, which was shocker.
Um,
And we rode Mickey and Minnie's.
The bottom line with Genie Plus is, I don't know if I don't know if I've ever actually witnessed them sell out of Genie Plus. I'm sure they have on super busy times.
Disneyland, I think, has once or twice. Disney World has numerous times.
So what you could do is just wait. I know that rope drop is going to be beautiful. You just ride standby rides, and if you feel like it's starting to get busy at 11 a.m. and it's way too crowded, you could choose to purchase Genie Plus then if you're hesitant about it. But it really is a wonderful service for visiting.
No, if you're going on a weekend in May, I would probably
Oh,
recommend
yeah, sorry,
getting
weekend-
it.
weekend,
But if you're going on a
probably.
weekday, like in May, that's not Memorial Day week, I think you could get away with not
Yeah.
getting it. However, if you have one day and that's it, then I would think about getting it. You can just don't have to worry about, waiting in long lines at all.
Dean asks, does Star Wars Night draw big crowds, and what's your best recommendation for riding Radiator Springs racers? I'll answer the last question first.
Single rider.
Single rider is always going to be my answer for riding Radiator Springs racers if you don't want to pay for the individual lightning
And if
lanes.
you have kids above 7 years old.
Oh yeah, and if you have kids above 7 years old, because the single rider functions a little bit slower than the lightning lane, but not by much. It usually moves pretty good, and it will seriously help you skip the wait. Otherwise, the best thing to do, and this was somebody replied in the comments of my DCA rope drop video, said that he would rather show up at 7 a.m. in the Esplanade and wait at the front of the line to get into the park and wait at the front of the rope drop line and be at the front at Radiator Racers and have 5 to 10 minute wait than to wait an hour in the park, because an hour of non-park time isn't as valuable as an hour of park time. So if you want, you could get to the Esplanade at 7 a.m. and just be at the front of the rope drop line. That is another viable strategy.
But usually, I mean, so the last time we went, last week, actually, the single rider line was nuts. It was like 30 minutes or 40 minutes for single rider even. However, I think the standby line was like, 90 something minutes. So if you
Not a Disney question, but what's your favorite rock band? Wow.
We don't really listen to rock.
We don't really listen to music at all, really, unless it's Disney music. We're not music people, but that being said, the first thing that pops into my mind is Green Day. That's what I loved to listen to as a kid. Loved Green Day, and it I don't know, it's the first thing that came to mind. That's the best I can give you. Let's see here. Going next Friday, will it be more empty than on Saturday and Sunday? So Fridays are definitely better than Saturdays and Sundays, but Fridays are going to be busier than Thursday. I honestly find Monday to be busier than Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, but it is probably because people, I don't know why. Monday is busier than Friday. So Friday's like middle of the busyness
like
calendar.
The day we did the rope trap video, that was a Friday, and we honestly didn't even find it crazy busy.
Except at DCA for half an hour.
Okay, so that's not true. When we hopped over to DCA, probably because it was food festival right now, DCA was nuts, which is weird because usually DCA is like the quiet part. But Disneyland all day was actually relatively like not busy.
Are there any local restaurants that you recommend outside the parks but are near the hotels but outside the parks? So there is an all-you-can-eat place in the Garden Walk that we love to go to. It's called Fire and Ice. It's a Mongolian grill, and if you've never been to a Mongolian grill, you get a little bowl. You are able to fill it up with raw vegetables and raw meat. You take it to their big round grill. They'll cook it right in front of you. You can select what sauces you want to put on it.
Fire and Ice is nice because they also do other things like, so most of them are just Chinese type food. This one actually has like
pasta,
burgers and
mac
pasta
and
like
cheese.
mac and
yeah,
cheese
burgers
and other
too.
stuff.
I forgot about
like,
burgers.
And then I've heard if you go during brunch, I think it is on weekends, you can also do like pancakes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Fire and Ice is like our only place really we go to. But the Garden Walk also has like P.F. Chang's, Bubba Gump.
Oh, Bubba Gump. Yeah, Bubba Gump.
Oh, what else does I have? California Pizza Kitchen. So it has a bunch of restaurants there, and they're all within like an 8-minute walk. So.
Jeremy says, I'm from Sydney and only get to go to the parks every 4 years or so. Do you think a 5-day pass would be too much? No. For coming all the way from Australia, spend the full amount of time that Disney will let you. That is a long way to come.
We've done that flight before.
We've done that flight before multiple times. We've been to Australia 5 separate occasions.
It's
5
a
separate
long
occasions.
flight.
One of the times we lived there for a full year, actually in the Sydney area, just about south of it in Wollongong. We lived there for a year. So yes, if you are flying all that way, please stay 5 days. Absolutely.
And bring us some Tim Tams. Just kidding.
We actually have Tim Tams in
you can
America
get them in
now.
the store now.
The best time to have gone to Disney World was the 2010s. Yeah, I would agree. I'd agree.
Yeah.
That poor 2015 commercial.
Oh, I know. The commercial that came on, like people were posting it online the other day, and it was like a 2015 commercial and all the free perks you get, and all of us were like, that doesn't exist anymore. That doesn't exist anymore. The only thing good they brought back was free parking at the hotels again.
What's my favorite meal in the park, not downtown Disney? Anything from Docking Bay 7. I love the food there. They had a seasonal item. It's gone now, but they had a seasonal item like 3 months ago.
It was like a curried beef or something. It
was
really
literally the best food I had ever eaten at Disneyland. Like, I was so in love with it that I went by myself when I ate it the first time. Is when we came back as a family, I was like, you have to try this. This is so good.
So my favorite, though we don't go all the time just because it's kind of expensive, like once you actually want to get full with it, but I love Bengal barbecue.
Ooh,
Bengal barbecue would probably be my favorite. I love the Banyan beef skewer, and I love the asparagus wrapped in bacon skewer.
Chris says, any hunch on how long Matterhorn's going to be down?
Who knows?
Yeah, so...
Enjoy not having to go see a chiropractor after riding it if it's down.
The rides lately have all been breaking a lot. And honestly, so Indiana Jones was down for 2-3 months for its refurb.
3.5 months or something.
It just reopened on March 17th.
And it was still not working
And
properly.
we went, what was the date? April 14th. Not even a month. And the entrance doors, whenever the ride first starts, all the lights were off. It was completely dark in that room.
Completely dark.
And I was like, what? It's broken already? It hasn't even been a month. Big Red Journey's in the house. Big Red is here. My buddy David, Big Red Journeys, you might have seen him around on the channel a couple of times, just letting us know he popped in the live chat. Let's see here. Not Disney related, but do we know any good churches in SoCal? So we go to Shadow Mountain Community Church in El Cajon with Pastor David Jeremiah. He's a very well-known TV preacher, if you will. Turning Point Ministries is his, so that's where we go. Another church in the area that is pretty good is Skyline. And that's also in the San Diego area, though.
For that area, I don't know. I mean, Saddleback Church is nearby.
Yeah.
But we have to look. We could probably find out if you messaged us.
Yeah, feel free.
And guys, if your questions are not getting answered tonight because we have so many that are going through, either shoot us an email. We have I think your email posted on
SoCalDisneyDad@gmail.com.
So you can send us an email, or the quickest way would be if you have us on Instagram and follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Message, it'll be me responding 99% of the time.
If it's Facebook, it's me. If it's Instagram, it's her. If it's YouTube, it's me. So you can drop a comment on any Disneyland video, or any video. It doesn't even need to be Disneyland video. Just drop a comment asking your questions on any video. You have a question that just pops into your head, feel free to just drop it in any video. I literally respond. I mean, if I'm awake and I'm not busy, I respond within about 5 minutes. It's like an OCD thing for me. I'm not OCD. I understand,
slower,
but like
with Instagram, I usually try to respond within like a day. So if you have, and I feel free to like, if you have questions or if you need help planning something, feel free to message on Instagram because I will take the time. Like we will take the time to answer your questions better on there because we feel bad for you guys if you're on here and you're like, but my question got skipped again. It's like, sorry.
Just basically to say, we're gonna respond. So don't think we're not. I'll get around to it, and probably sooner rather than later if you comment on a YouTube video. What's my favorite Disneyland nighttime show? Jeremy asks. World of Color, easily, hands down.
The original.
Love,
we haven't
love,
seen
love.
the other
I haven't
one
seen
right
World
now.
of Color one. But love World of Color. We don't often stay for nighttime events. We wake up at 5 a.m. to drive up to Disneyland from San Diego. And by 7 o'clock, we're pretty tired. And if we stay out till 9 o'clock or 9:30, when we're driving home, we're nodding off while we're driving, which is not a good combination.
Which you guys should be impressed with our rope drop video. We get 5 a.m. guys. We got up and we did not leave the park until the gates were closing at midnight.
We had a hotel.
But we had a hotel.
I want to clarify, we had a hotel.
So we did not drive back that night. No. But we did it. We did 5 a.m. to midnight.
Is there any place to get Mexican-style tacos in Disneyland? Yes. There are two places with Mexican food, whether they qualify or not for what you are looking for. Rancho del Zocalo and Cocina Cucamonga over at DCA. Cocina Cucamonga honestly has the better tacos, and you can get the quesadilla tacos. Amazing. Best tacos that I've had.
Rancho del Zocalo, though, their taco salad is pretty decent. I had that this past time we went, and it's like a big tostada salad.
Zebrow, if that's how you pronounce it, says, what are your top 5 Disneyland exclusive rides? Indiana Jones.
Space Mountain.
And that's not exclusive. Disneyland only. Exclusive. Not at Walt Disney World.
But theirs is so different.
You can say that about a lot of our rides. Small World has our little Disney characters.
Yeah, and our Space Mountain doesn't break your back.
And it has music. Indiana Jones, Radiator Springs Racers, Incredicoaster, Grizzly River Run, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of Matterhorn.
That hurts. Sorry.
Snow White's Enchanted Wish. There you go. My top 5. That's my top 5. Have I seen any celebrities at Disney? No. But I don't think I would recognize them if I did. I'm not looking for them. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen plenty of YouTubers. It's like, oh, look, there's Peter and Kitra. Oh, Fresh Baked. Hey, Dave. No, I've not seen any celebrities. Do you both work, or are you able to go to Disney every day? So we do Disney once a week. When I have...
You do. I don't even go up that often.
I usually do Disney once a week, usually on a weekend, and I film 3 videos at a minimum pretty much each visit. On our visit last Friday, we filmed 5 videos for you guys in a single visit. So... that's how I've always done the channel. I go up on weekends and I film multiple content. So when it looks like we're posting a video a day, I'm not in the park every day.
All the time.
It's just the same day it has been for the last 5 videos. We're just, I film them all. So what happens? Here's what happens. So we go up as a family 75% of the time. I'll film a video or 2 with Amy and the kids, and then from like 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we split off. The kids find it absolutely dreadfully boring when I stand there and do tips videos for you guys. So Amy takes them riding on rides, and I gallivant across the park filming these different tips videos for you guys. That's generally how the filming happens here on the channel.
And then I work part-time and the kids are in school. So like last Friday was an exception. I took the day off of work to go up with him. And the kids stayed back at school and got picked up by grandma. But
sometimes, so she's off on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She won't be this coming year. She'll be working 5 days.
All 5 days.
She's been off on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes we'll go up just together on like a Thursday. My mom will pick up the kids. But anyhow. Are we married? Yes. 12 years in June. And we have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. And
we apologize for the live stream because we had someone earlier say, "Oh, your live streams are, it's going to be late for anyone on the East Coast." We apologize, but it's because of the kids that we have to do it so late. Because if you had tuned in an hour earlier, you would have had screaming in the background of them fighting over something.
It's like if we send them outside while we're doing a live stream, inevitably somebody will get hurt, the door will open, and there will be screaming and tears.
You're like,
yeah. So the alternative that we've thought about doing is we could always just do the live stream upstairs in our bedroom and put the TV on for the kids, like put a movie on or something. That's something that we can consider doing. If some of you are watching from the East Coast and you're like, I'd love more live streams, but these are too late, I need to head to bed. Let's see here. If you could visit any Disney park in the world besides, international park, any international park, Tokyo.
Tokyo. Though I was reading earlier on Instagram that someone said like the lines there are frequently like 3 hours long for a ride. So it's like, oh, I don't want to go to Tokyo.
Angelus has just found our channel today. Yay! Awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out with us. Shanghai looks awesome. I want to say that all their rides look like technologically advanced and awesome. So, but Tokyo would be the immediate, like, just because I want to go to Japan too.
I want to go to Disney Sea.
Oh yes, I've heard that's an amazing park.
But yes, I want tiny little food. He's like, but all the food looks so small and it wouldn't fill you up. I'm like, I want little food and little Duffy everything.
Favorite park other than Disney? First thing that popped into my mind was Islands of Adventure. If we're not including Universal, because that's kind of in the same sphere as Disney, Cedar Point is what I grew up going to all the time as a kid, and teenager, I guess. And it's one of the first theme parks I took Amy to. Additionally, absolutely amazing theme park that I have not gone to enough, Hershey Park. Hershey Park.
Uh-oh, we skittering.
Oh, skittered. I just want to say I was talking about Cedar Point and Hershey Park in answer to the question of the theme parks that we enjoy.
Hershey Park would honestly be our favorite.
Yeah, Hershey Park is amazing. Where is Rancho del Zocalo in Disneyland? Frontierland, right next to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Let's see. Sorry, reading these questions. Been using your channel to plan. I actually found you through San Diego Zoo videos first. Appreciate all the tips. Glad to hear that. Rope Drop, Rise of Resistance, or Hyperspace Mountain. Also, best place to see Fantasmic since all the restaurants are sold out. Oh, restaurant hack. If you just book any old reservation to Riverbell Terrace, doesn't have to be a Fantasmic dining package, just go to Riverbell Terrace, and preferably for lunch, because they do sell out early.
And you can probably even get a walk-up if you want right at opening, too.
You just tell, our reservation was for 11:30, and there was nobody at 11. We just asked right at 11 if they could seat us, and they sat us way early. But you just tell your server, I would like the Fantasmic dining package. They'll come out with a special menu. It's $50 a person, or $50 for adults. $50 for adults. And they will give you a Fantasmic dining ticket. Just watch the video next week on how to do that.
It was really worth it, in the end. We weren't sure what to expect, but it really saved us having to try to find seats and all that stuff for Fantasmic. We enjoyed it.
Is it hard with an odd number of people at the parks? What are some tricks on that? So we frequently, or used to, go a lot more with my mother. She hasn't wanted to purchase a pass because they're so expensive now. I can write it off as a business expense, thankfully. So basically the revenue that we earn on YouTube ads can help pay for those passes, and they're like a tax deductible expense. So thankfully I can do that, but my mother hasn't wanted to purchase a pass because of the expense, so she hasn't been coming with us lately. But we used to do 5 all the time, and usually one person just sits by themselves, on like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Well, actually, no, Big Thunder, we've crammed 3 and 2.
We've done that before too.
So it depends on the ride.
On Haunted Mansion, you can fit 3 on like a Doom buggy. Small World, obviously, you have a boat. I think they have to do 2 rows, for like a boat type attraction. We did 5 all the time. It's a little bit more harder to get dining reservations with 5 because
Oh, David said he's
Yeah,
trying to do someone. He
yeah.
said super chat.
Sorry. I don't know. David, just text him back. I don't want
Tell
to
him what.
mention it on. It's working for me. I don't know. Anyhow, what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying.
Odd number of people.
Oh, odd number of people. It'd be harder to get a dining reservation because a lot of the tables are for tables of four, which means they have fewer tables for more than four people. That would be the only like difficulty that I would really anticipate being a problem with an odd number of people. But if your number is like seven, mm, they may want to split up your party if like the most they can seat at a table is six.
Oh, with dining.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dining is really where you're going to have the most amount of problems. Um, Otherwise, Carson asks if we're going to Disneyland in June, and the stream just cut out again. Uh, we are going June 5th and 6th with the family, and their pass is blocked out from that point forward. My pass, I have the highest level pass. I will still be going once a week, pretty much for the foreseeable future. So I couldn't tell you when. I just know that June 5th and 6th right now is what we have on the books. We have nothing further than that on the books at the moment. But that is the next time that we will be at Disneyland.
Do you even have monetization turned on?
Yeah, I turned it on. Are you guys coming on May 30th to Disneyland? I'm going to Disneyland on May 30th.
And we put that day? I'll look.
No. No.
Reason.
Not at the moment. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, because I don't have any reservations for that week. But I don't at the moment. No.
We're still hoping to go not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. But we didn't get reservations, and hoping we can snag some right before.
How do you get to Lamplight Lounge without a reservation? Excellent question. They have a walk-up list. You won't be able to go to the actual downstairs portion. The walk-up list is only for the upstairs boardwalk portion. But you need to be at Lamplight Lounge right at 11 a.m. And I mean right at 11 a.m. Don't show up at 11:01. Well, you could probably still get it at 11:01. Reservations disappear by about 11:10. So it show up at 10:55. As soon as it hits 11 o'clock on the Disneyland app, the wait list is going to open up, and you just need to mash that button to join the wait list as fast as possible. And then you can get into the upper portion of Lamplight Lounge. They have all the bites, but they don't have the bigger bites.
They don't have
and
they have the lobster nachos. They have
that's because they're on bites. The
yeah.
bigger bites are just their sandwiches, but they're like potato skins, and the lobster nachos, which we both got on a recent video. Both of those are on the bites. Thanks to Big Red Journeys for giving us a super chat, $5, and he's just reminding everybody to give the thumbs up to the video. So thank you so much for that.
Sorry.
How close do you need to be to join the walk-up list? I usually sit on the benches just outside
like
the restaurant.
Outside. You don't want to be too far away.
I wouldn't chance it. I'd just be waiting just outside the restaurant. When we did it, we joined right at 11, and we were seated by 11:15. Yeah. So we just hung out in that area.
Sometimes open that back up again periodically throughout the day. So even if you miss it at that point, you can keep checking, but that's usually the easiest time to get into it. Me, I'm hot.
Rope drop suggestions for a youngish first timer that's not sold on big rides yet. Alice in Wonderland. You could go to Peter Pan. That's where a lot of people are going. But honestly, if you're not at the front of the rope drop line,
you're gonna wait
because of early entry. There's already going to be a line there to begin with. And I mean, there might be for Alice too, but it'll be inconsequential. I recommend going to Alice first because it can get 40-minute waits throughout the day, which is the same as Peter Pan, but it has 5-minute waits first thing in the morning, whereas Peter Pan goes from 5 to 40.
Say go to Alice in Wonderland, go to Dumbo, go to Casey Jr., go to Mr. Toad's, Snow White, hit kind of all those Fantasyland rides. And then honestly, we found Peter Pan to actually not be too bad of a wait in the middle of the afternoon, because
it can drop to 25.
It can drop because I feel like a lot of people with young kids they go back to their hotels for naps and stuff. So
I'm gonna keep talking about this, but I did want to quickly answer Rad's question about Big Thunder. It's already open. It reopened this past Friday.
We rode it 3 times.
Yeah, we did. We rode it 3 times. You can see that video tomorrow. As far as Fantasyland goes, so that we're planning on going on April 30th. I had reservations, then I had to cancel it to make a reservation elsewhere. But they're gone at the moment. I want to go on April 30th. And if we can snag reservations the night before, my plan that day is to do a Fantasyland rope drop video for you guys. Just like a rope drop video from earlier this week, but the goal is going to be to hit all 12 Fantasyland rides in the first 2 hours. I'm going to see if it's possible to do, and you'll see the strategy that we use to hit them all as quickly as possible in rapid succession. And that'll be following like the week after 1st of May. If I can't do it on April 30th, I personally have reservations to go up on May 2nd. So we'll get it out quickly shortly thereafter. We're staying at the Grand this upcoming week. How does early entry work? The turnstiles open at 7:20 to let you like up to like inside the park. I've not actually done early entry, so I can't tell you if they have a rope until 7:30. I know that the turnstiles open at 7:20.
Well, and then Grand Californian, if you're going into DCA,
has its own private entrance.
Too.
But you get into the park at 7:30. Be there at 7:30 to take full advantage of early access. Don't show up at 7:50. I mean, I've seen people do it, and you can still get on one ride before the masses are released. But if you want to take full advantage of it, show up at the 7:20 right when they open the turnstiles, and then at 7:30 you can start riding rides. But you have access to a limited number of rides, so I still have the screen open. Disneyland, it's going to be Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. And over at DCA, it's going to be Avengers Campus, it's kind of a hit or miss. Guardians of the Galaxy, Web Slingers, Monsters Inc., Maiders, Little Mermaid, and Coaster, and Soarin'. Those are the rides that are open over at DCA. So it's not all the rides, but you should be able to hit some of them. Speaking of rope drop, Maria says, do you think Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will take the majority of rope droppers? No. Rise of the Resistance still takes all the rope droppers for the most part. Minnie's takes a good chunk of them, I will say. Those are the two places where people are going, because they're the paid rides. If you want lightning lanes for them, you have to do the individual paid rides. So, of course, those two attractions are going to really take the majority of the rope drop. If you want to see, so watch our video tomorrow. It's towards the end, but what we did after Fantasmic and Wondrous Journeys is we immediately went up to Toontown and we hopped in line for the reopening of Toontown, because they closed Toontown for fireworks, which means that Mickey and Minnie's is completely emptied. And at 10 p.m. they'll reopen, and we got on with a 25-minute wait. And we were like towards the middle or back of the line, like because we watched Fantasmic, we were on like the wrong side of the park to get up there real quick.
25 minutes wasn't
yeah,
bad.
no, 25 minutes was good.
Somebody just asked, Narnia's, or what's it say?
Narnia expert?
Yes, you need park reservations still for Disneyland.
Yep.
So yes, please do not show up without that. And Wondrous Journeys is the nighttime fireworks show that's currently running, which I don't know if they'll be changing that for the summer or not, but and then that's even subject to, like not happen certain nights. If they determine that it's too windy, they will let you know that, there's no fireworks.
CKL asking about Universal. That would be something, if you can just private message asking about pointers for Universal Hollywood Studios. It would take me far too long to answer here, but I want to answer you. So just message, comment on something asking that question, or message us on Facebook or Instagram. Happy to share what we know. Do you prefer the front or back on Splash Mountain?
Back.
They're going to say the front will get you absolutely soaked.
Back. We put our kids in the front. And the last time we rode it, James was in the front, and he got like completely drenched. So
yeah. How long is the drive from Legoland to Disney? 45 to an hour.
An hour.
45 minutes to an hour. If you have to rank fireworks shows, World of Color, Fantasmic, and Wondrous Journeys. What will be my order? World of Color at the top, then Phantasmic beneath that, and then the fireworks, Wondrous Journeys beneath that. That would be how I would organize them.
Our Splash Mountain is not closed yet. It closes what, May 30th or something?
31st? 30, is it 31st? 30th? 31st.
I'll look it up. It's soon, but Disney World's is closed, but not ours.
Yeah. Stephanie says, "Do you watch other Disney YouTubers?
Yeah,
East
May
Coast?
31st.
East Coast, yes. West Coast, no. And I'll tell you why. I know who they all are, but I don't watch their videos because I don't want to be influenced by what they're doing. I don't want to run the risk of copying their content or anything like that. I absolutely research titles and thumbnails. I try to be competitive in that area, but I generally don't watch their videos just because, like I said, I don't want to hear something and then me say it and it's like, oh, you just stole that from so and so. So I generally don't watch their videos out here. Like I said, I am familiar. The one exception was I watched Provost's Genie Plus video before we went to do our Genie Plus because we hadn't used Genie Plus in 8 months. And I wanted to make sure I had the latest info and I didn't give you guys bad info. So I had Amy watch it. I didn't watch it because, again, I don't want to say anything in the words that they said it, just,
well, and then there was even one tip that we didn't know about that he mentioned, and we mentioned in our video, but, like, we give him credit for
absolutely.
it.
I gave
like,
the hack.
We didn't know
the hack that we used to get a multi-experience pass in tomorrow's video. Full kudos to Chris Provost for that. Who is my favorite vlogger? Again, East Coast, because those are the ones we watch. Paging Miss Tomorrow, instant for me.
Super enthused.
Super enthused. Love Jackie. Hoping that maybe when they come out here, we can do a collab with them. I know that they've been talking about going to SeaWorld, and I would love to meet up with them to hang out at SeaWorld. We've already met them once before. They were super chill. So, maybe so. But those are my favorites. Used to love watching All Ears. Not a big fan of it since Molly left. And I'm also not a huge fan of the content on Mammoth Club now that they're on their own. I've watched a couple of their videos that I've been really excited about. But generally speaking, I stick with mostly Nate and Jackie. Love them. What's your thoughts on World of Color dessert experience? Waste of money. I haven't done it, so I don't know about like the view, but I did a dessert party at Walt Disney World at $80 for their dessert
like we
party.
almost need to do a dessert party at Disney World again because like the one we did, you stayed in that separate seating area, and I don't think it was working properly because we didn't get any of the sound for the fireworks. However, now what they do is you eat all your desserts and then they walk you to a separate area where you're sitting on the grass and you have like your own dedicated seating area. And everything I've heard with World of Color is the one advantage with their dessert party is you're on seats above everybody else. You can see everything and you get to sit during the show, which is a big thing, and not have to stand. So I mean, if you want to be able to be seating
from a pure money perspective, which is what I'm thinking about it is, I'm spending $80-$90 for $20 worth of food. Yeah. It's really what it is. So you're spending $60 for the seat and the reserved spot, and if that's worth it to you, then do it. But it's per person. So if and again, when we're talking like Amy and I did the Phantasmic dining package this past week, it was just the two of us, and it was a lot more affordable. But when you suddenly add our kids into the mix, and now we're talking instead of $90, now we're talking $360. I wouldn't spend $360.
Now for Phantasmic, I know I have a friend who did it with her kids. She did the Hungry Bear dining package for Phantasmic, and that one's only like $36 a person or something. So, but World of Color doesn't have anything that affordable. Oh, and speaking of pets, we've got one right here.
She loves to stick in on the live streams.
I know she's mad at me.
Yeah, she
and
also
then
doesn't
we also
like to be
have
held.
Another cat somewhere wandering around the house.
Max Pass was much better than Genie Plus. I agree, Felsu. Absolutely 100%. We say that all the time. We actually used Max Pass quite often. I
Yeah,
feel like we paid
we
for it like
paid
once
for
every
it
two
more.
months. And I don't know. It's strange because Genie Plus doesn't cost that much extra, but there's something about it. I don't know. I liked Max Pass better too. Absolutely. Ditto on the cup question. What's the cup question? Are there refillable
There's no
cups?
refillable
Not
cup.
at Disneyland, sadly. That's a Walt Disney World thing. I'm actually debating. I'm only going to be there for 2.5 days next week. It's like, do I buy a refillable
No.
cup? Probably not. Probably not. What are your kids' favorite Disney movies? Instant answer for Benjamin is Little Mermaid. Jane, on the other hand, I have to think. It's a good question.
Encanto?
Maybe. Max Pass.
Maybe.
What is Max Pass? Max Pass was essentially
Genie Plus.
it was essentially Fast Pass, but on the mobile. It just allowed you to make like whenever you had to go and run to booths to get paper tickets, Max Pass allowed you to do everything on your app while everyone else was still running to get paper tickets. And not very many people bought it because you could still do it for free. So I think that's why Max Pass worked better because there weren't as many people using it, and I liked it better. But
I miss Max Pass.
are my kids looking forward to the new Little Mermaid movie? So we just went to see the Mario movie yesterday.
You did.
I did. I took the kids because there was a school perk. They have a fundraising event, and if they raised a certain amount of money, the school took them to go see Mario. And I took them because they were asking for parents to take the kids, so that they didn't have to like hire an extra bus. And so I took my kids, and we were watching the previews, and Little Mermaid came on for the preview for the Mario movie, and Benjamin was just like, "Oh, I want to see that!" He was so excited. He was so excited. Did we get married at Disneyland? No. We were married in Utah, which is where Amy's from. She grew up in Logan, Utah. And so that's where we were married. But we did honeymoon in Walt Disney World. So we hopped on a plane like oh no, we got a hotel in Utah. My bad. We got a hotel in Utah the first night. We flew out the next morning, went to Walt Disney World, and we spent a whole week there as our honeymoon. Have I done the VIP experience? No. What is the most must-go ride at Disneyland? If we're talking the whole resort, Radiator Springs Racers. If we're talking just Disneyland, as a Star Wars fan, I have to say Rise of the Resistance. Have to. Both of those are paid for a reason. They're individual Lightning Lane for a reason. Mickey and Minnie's another top suggestion. It's an individual Lightning Lane for a reason.
So I speculate, give it like a year, and that one will die down in popularity. It's just because it's so new.
Why do you only get one ride on Genie Plus? That's the way it always used to work.
No, Fast Pass, you could ride them as many times as
Oh,
you want.
you mean once, and you're
Like,
done.
yeah.
I thought you meant one at a time.
No.
If you're talking about why can you only ride it once and you're done, then I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, a lot of theme parks have two. They have like Universal has a pass you can purchase where you only get to ride everything once, and then they have an unlimited level that's even more expensive. And I'm surprised Disney doesn't offer something like that. Like for $40 a day instead of $25 a day, you can get unlimited.
Don't do that. Don't suggest it.
No,
it'll make the standby lines even
I know
worse.
it would make the standby lines even worse. Are there any changes on Big Thunder? No. It was just like a fixing refurb. Nothing new. What are they fixing on Matterhorn? Who knows? Probably something to do with the Yeti.
No, that Yeti tends to work. I feel like that ride, it's always to do with like tracks or seats for the vehicles because it's so old.
If you saw one of my recent tips videos, I just learned this when I put the tip video together. Matterhorn is the oldest steel coaster in the world.
Which means it has issues.
Everything before that used to be wooden coasters. So, yeah, Matterhorn is a piece of history, and it needs to be doctored and babied and taken care of. How often do I visit characters and princesses? Almost never.
We'll stop Sundays if they're like wandering around the park. Like, I don't know. Did you put it in the video at all when we met the Mad Hatter and he was playing Hokey Pokey with everyone? And then
Yeah,
offered
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
a cup of tea.
That was in our Disneyland Without Rides video. We went to Disneyland and did a whole day where we didn't ride a single ride, and the interaction with the Mad Hatter
It was great.
was the best character interaction I have ever witnessed. It was hilarious. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Iris says hello. Just want to say the thing disappeared. There we go. Your videos are great and it helped me with Disney planning. So glad to hear that. That is exactly why I put these videos together. I love helping people plan their trips. Amy actually at one point thought about being a Disney vacation planner. At the time, we didn't have any connections. This was before YouTube, and it didn't go very well. Now she's just so busy with other things, our kids being older, that it's not something that we're interested in doing. But we have always loved helping people plan. We love to plan. It's my favorite part of going to Walt Disney World.
You should see how many times we've rearranged our Hawaii schedule next month. You don't want to know.
We just love to plan things. So I love to plan. I love to help you guys plan. I'm always happy to answer questions and help out. Have we done a video on the Fantasmic Blue Bayou dining package? No, just the Riverbell Terrace one, which will be coming out this
Honestly,
week.
the only difference is where you get seated.
Yeah. Oh, so I think in the video, I'm pretty sure in the video that's coming out next week, I show you the seating areas. We walk right by the seating area. You'll see our seating area for Riverbell, and Blue Bayou's is just a little bit better than ours. It's just a little bit more centered, but so basically, the Blue Bayou is seated directly across from the building over on Tom Sawyer Island where they do all the projections. It's like the best view that you could get where they put the Blue Bayou people, because that's obviously the most expensive one, I think, as well. Or and then the premium Riverbells actually is the most expensive, and that's right behind the Blue Bayous. They have chairs. You don't have to sit on the ground.
Oh, is that what the chairs were for?
Yeah, I think the chairs are for the premium
okay.
Riverbell, because that's even more expensive. So you do the premium Riverbell, you get seats. You do Blue Bayou, you're still seated on the ground. You have to sit on the hard ground. But you have the best angle.
I saw online, they haven't started selling them yet, but I saw online where you're going to be able to purchase like Fantasmic little like seating cushions that you can buy for like $6, and they're really cute.
For what? Where did you see that?
Someone posted on Instagram the other day, but they're not out yet.
What's the question? Wondering if you would know which hotel around Disney has the best free breakfast. I saw a video of one that had a taco station.
Well, that's not Candy Cane Inn. I was about to say
we've only eaten or stayed at 2 hotels with free breakfasts. The Best Western, Park Place Inn, which is literally the closest hotel you can get to Disneyland. That had a pretty decent breakfast, but I felt like it was more your standard like continental type breakfast with like Danishes and bagels.
They had some like scrambled eggs and some sausage and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything super fancy.
Yeah.
However, I mean that hotel is like the closest hotel you can get to Disney.
It was
it's
amazing.
Closer than the Disneyland hotel for walking.
It was amazing for staying out till midnight and having the least amount of walk to get back to my hotel. Like, I thought it was so great to just step out the gates and I was instantly at my hotel. Candy Cane is the other one that we love with free breakfast, and they have amazing breakfast. I just love that they have mounds of cheese cubes. I love cheese.
Yeah, you eat all the cubes.
I think they have grapes too. And then they have croissants, like actual ham and cheese croissants, which are really good. Their donuts are pretty good. They have Danishes as well.
Waffle makers now too.
Waffle makers, lots of juice. So we
Yeah.
like those 2 hotels for free breakfast. Going tomorrow with a 3-year-old, wife and 3-year-old, best advice. If it's your first time,
go to bed now and get up early.
If it's your first time, buy Genie Plus. You definitely won't regret it. It'll really help you.
It depends because
3-year-old. Sorry, my bad. My bad. 3-year-old. Don't buy Genie Plus. You could buy Genie Plus.
Well, I mean, it depends on how tall your 3-year-old is.
There's still rides that they can go on Genie Plus. Our 3-year-old was able to go on Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
But Benjamin was also like 90th percentile for height.
So if they're at least 40 inches, you could get Genie Plus.
If they're under 40
inches,
under
40 inches,
bother.
Maybe don't bother. But go to Fantasyland first. Rope drop Fantasyland, and then ride all those rides.
Which means you need to go to bed. So you can get up early.
Debris prefer soaring over California or soaring around the world? California.
Orange trees. That's all I have to say.
How hard is it to see Din and Grogu on the West Coast? Honestly, no idea.
Because we haven't seen them.
No idea.
So
we're not character people. We're not character people. We're not merch people.
We're not pin trader people.
We're not pin traders.
Guys.
I don't know anything about them. We really don't do characters a whole lot, but so I couldn't tell you. I did see Boba Fett the other day. I saw Boba Fett.
Now, I will tell, like we said earlier, that when it comes to characters, when we're on vacation, like in Disney World or when we're going to Alani next month, we are doing a character breakfast. So, we will do character meals, and our kids love meeting the characters. But in the parks each time, we're not going crazy over meeting all the characters.
Yep. Oh, yes. Thulsu. Can't believe I forgot that. With a 3-year-old, please take an afternoon nap. You'll definitely want to do that. Take them back, even if they don't want to sleep. Just take them back for the destimulation process. Go back to the hotel if you have a hotel. We do that. I mean, our kids are 8 and 5, and we still enforce that. Between 2 and 4, we're taking the kids back to the hotel. They're sitting on the bed. They're going to watch vacation, TV. Yeah. Well, I mean, not even that. If we stay overnight.
Oh, yeah.
We do that here. We do that here too. They need a break, especially since my 8-year-old, I try to take him in. Yeah, he doesn't sleep at all. Neither does my 5-year-old or my 8-year-old. But my 8-year-old, since I try to keep him up until 11 so that we can enjoy it when we get a hotel at Disneyland, we go back in the afternoon, like I said, just so they can sit and relax a little bit. Help them build up some energy to keep going for the rest of the day.
And if you don't have a hotel, if you're just going up for a day and you need destimulation time, go over to the Grand Californian Hotel and just sit in their lobby for a little bit, or one of the other hotel lobbies, and just chillax.
Andrew says we have 2 toddlers. Should we rope drop Runaway or do Fantasyland first? Fantasyland because so I probably said this a couple of times in videos, but I spent 2 weeks tracking wait times during spring break of all times at Disneyland, and 9 out of 10 times, or 9 out of 10 days, Runaway Railway was a lower wait time between 9 and 10 than it was at rope drop. So people rush there, and then the traffic kind of dies down a bit until the park gets busier. So I would spend 8 to 9 riding Fantasyland rides and then go do Mickey and Minnie's. Yeah. You'll have a lower wait than rope dropping it.
Even if you have to wait an hour for Mickey and Minnie's later, you'll have gone on 8 rides in the first hour in Fantasyland. That would take you, 3 hours later in the day.
Do you usually get more wet on Grizzly or Splash? I feel like Splash.
Splash.
Unless, one exception, if you are the bottom seat
of the drop
at Grizzly, you'll get drenched. But as a whole, I feel like you get wetter on Splash. And you actually don't get super wet from the big drop that you see everyone taking.
It's the drop in the middle of
It's
Splash.
in the happy or laughing place.
Yeah, it's in the dark.
The one going into the laughing place is the one where you get the wettest. So let's see here.
Is she being too noisy?
Yeah, our cat's playing with a cat toy. Inside the parks, lockers are available for $7 and $10. Outside the parks, lockers are for $7, $10, $12, and $15. Oh, you must just have been answering somebody's question. Thought you were getting something there. Yes. Those people who are answering other people's questions in the comments we haven't had a chance to answer, thank you guys so much. Absolutely. If we're staying at a hotel on Catella right across from Storytory, would you rather take the Storytory shuttle or another art bus? You just pop over to the Toy Story lot.
Just go to the Toy Story lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely pop over to the Toy Story lot. Any advice between Hilton Anaheim Convention Center or Best Western Plus Anaheim Inn? Prefers hotel, restaurants, and bar, and I prefer being closer to the park. I see. I've never stayed at the Hilton Anaheim Convention Center. I personally would lean towards just being close to the park because we like to walk.
And the convention center is quite a walk down.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a waste.
I would just say closer to the park personally, but that's just us.
That behind our comments again.
Kitty Kid will get that rattle. Yeah, Splash Mountain is definitely more wet if you're in the front two seats. If you're in the back, maybe not so much. Favorite souvenir you've ever bought? T-shirts. That's pretty much what we like to buy. When I went to Epcot, and I'm going to check again when I go to Epcot again, my favorite T-shirt that I ever bought was a Celtic Knot Mickey from the Norway Pavilion, and I bought that on our most recent trip to Walt Disney World last May, and that's my favorite. I don't know about you.
I'm trying to think, because I usually don't like. I
Anything
feel like I don't.
Orange Bird.
Yeah, I was about to say. When we go to Disney World, I'm like always finding the orange bird stuff. Honestly, like this last trip to Disney World, I bought one T-shirt, and I think that was it. Like that was my whole entire souvenirs for the whole entire week. So, it just depends. Now, when we go to Alani next month, like I'm probably gonna be looking more. One thing I do buy, and I guess I did, I think I may have bought this past time, is I like to collect mugs. We have lots of mugs, and we use them even for like ice cream sometimes.
Yeah, we do buy a lot
like
of mugs.
he doesn't drink coffee, but he'll put ice cream in it or soup in it, stuff like that. So
I'm gonna try to quickly answer a lot of these questions because there's a bunch of good ones that just came in. Is January a good time to go to Walt Disney World? Yes. I think February is better. It's a little bit warmer. Can be. End of February. Right before spring break, a couple of weeks before spring break. But January, I've been in January before. It's pretty good. What are your go-to shoes? I don't know. I just wear Skechers. I think Skechers is what I have.
Sneakers most of the time. I mean, I did just buy walking sandals.
Yeah. And I just bought some hiking sandals, but I wanted them in time to break them in time for Walt Disney World, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Favorite restaurant in the park?
Cafe Orleans.
I'm going to say we like Cafe Orleans for the pommes frites, but honestly, Carnation Cafe is pretty good. Carnation Cafe has some pretty good food.
Cafe Orleans, Carnation Cafe. Outside the park would be Storytellers Cafe.
How busy do you think the park will be in mid-May on a weekday? Not very busy. Unless you're going on a Star Wars night or a grad night. Keep an eye out for those things. Those will make the parks busier. But otherwise, we're in shoulder season, and it's one of the best times to go to Disneyland. How long am I at Walt Disney World? 2.5 days. It was a spur-of-the-moment trip. I had a whole bunch of questions I wanted to ask you guys about Walt Disney World, but we're having such a good time answering your questions, I'm not going to bother. I booked the trip because I want to put days in all 4 parks, and my goal is literally to film. I'm filming food that I don't have film for. I'm filming rides that I don't have video for, and then I'm putting together 2 guides in each park. So it's purely a working trip. I'm still gonna have some fun, I'm sure. I'm gonna have an absolute blast. I love Walt Disney World, but it's a whirlwind trip. That's what I will say.
Andrew, you can find ice cream sandwiches at any of the ice cream carts. So they're probably, I don't think they're really listed in the app, but if you see one of the carts that has like a pole and then a sign that has like 6 different ice cream things on it, that's where you're gonna find the ice cream sandwiches. Just be aware they're like in dry ice, so they are frozen. Like you'll have to probably let it sit for a bit before you eat them.
Is Oogie Boogie Bash worth it for a 5-year-old? It's expensive, and
it's late at night.
It's late at night, so that's what you have to factor in. It starts at 6, though. It starts at 6. And I think they started at 6 because of families wanting to go, but like some of the best stuff doesn't happen until it gets dark. Like the Villains Grove is awesome, and that's not until about maybe 8 o'clock at night. So I think I was there until maybe 9 or 9:30 last time. I think I left by about 9:30. So I was in there from 6 to 9:30 when I went. It's very expensive, but they do give you lots of candy, and you can go through the trails as many times as you want. So, rack those up. You'll also get to see exclusive characters that you'll never see any other time. So it has its perks. Some of the rides are still open, or most of the rides are still open, but honestly, I don't know how many people are actually riding rides.
Yeah, I think for Oogie Boogie, most people go for the candy and for the characters.
Yeah.
In the parade.
So the screen just restarted here. Let's see. Sorry. So again, I'm probably missing some comments. Sorry about that, but just like it's hard to keep up with the chat here. Planning a trip in September. How are the crowds during the week? So September is the start of Halloween season.
Yeah, it can be pretty busy still.
September is still better than October
Yeah.
because September is the start of school. So a lot of people are, they're not going to pull their kids out of school like, when they've only been in school for a week. It still happens, of course, obviously. There's still going to be like kids in the park. It's not like it's completely devoid of families in September, but September is going to be better than October because as you get closer to Halloween, you're going to get more people showing up. I know a lot of like fall breaks. It's not spring breaks, but fall breaks happen in October. UEA, Utah Escapes to Anaheim, or Utah Educators Association. But everyone just calls it Utah Escapes to Anaheim. That happens in October. So September is going to be better than October. It's also going to be blazing hot. Hottest day of the year is Labor Day. Hottest day of the year. I used to work in HVAC, and we would get the most calls on Labor Day than we would get any other day of the year. So expect September to be burning hot. Planning a trip in July. Any advice? Ooh, July.
For it to be hot.
It won't be as hot.
It won't be as hot as September.
It won't be as hot as September. If you're coming at the beginning of July, beware of a phenomenon called No Sky July. So we have a phenomenon here on the West Coast called May Gray, June Gloom, and No Sky July.
And apparently Grapeful.
And Graperol. That was just something that got added. I've never heard of Graperol before, but apparently the National Weather Association just named it this month Graperol. But so No Sky July, what is that? The first week of July is still kind of like hangover from June gloom. And what that means is that it'll be gray and overcast until about noon to 1 in the afternoon. And then it'll all burn off and it'll be beautiful blue skies. There won't be a cloud in the sight the rest of the day.
Until about evening, and then it rolls back in again.
Yeah, so just be prepared for that. It'll be cloudy
and then
in the mornings.
Always bring a jacket, even if you have to rent a locker and go stick your jackets in a locker. You'll find that the mornings are cool, but then the evenings get cold in California. Like a lot of people think that California is going to be like Disney World, where it can be 80 degrees at 8 o'clock at night. It gets cold. It gets cool here in the evenings, and especially if you're watching something like World of Color, when they have those fountains going, they are blowing misty water on you all the time. So just be aware, to bring a jacket even in the middle of the summer, and just think about putting it in a locker, or if you have a hotel, leaving it in the hotel if you're close by.
So. Let me see here. Sorry, questions. I just had one, then I started doing something else and got distracted. Of course, I got distracted. This is a simple question. Best place to put map on Splash Mountain? Probably your back pocket because you're sitting on it. But you're saying it got soaked, so I don't know.
Just go get a new map.
Hey, just go get a new map. But if you don't want to walk all the way to the front of the park, a good suggestion is to bring Ziploc bags and then put it in a Ziploc bag. That way it won't get wet. Let's see here. What's the best way to spread ashes in the haunted mansion? Don't do it. You get kicked out of the park, and then they'll call a code, like a HEPA code or something like that. Then they'll shut the attraction down. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Are paper maps still available at Disneyland? Yes. At the front of the parks and both parks. So if you step into DCA, off to the right-hand side as you come in is going to be lockers. Right in front of that area is a little area to get maps.
Kind of hidden.
There are.
Disneyland's, it's on either side before you hit the tunnel.
Right before you hit the tunnel at Disneyland. Good places to rest your feet in both parks. Great moments with Mr. Lincoln. Enchanted Tiki Room. It's a Small World. Mickey's PhilharMagic. The Animation Building. Just go in there and find a couch and listen to the glorious music. Absolutely best place to rest in DCA. If you can find a couch. There's so many people in there, the couches are almost always gone. But Rogers, when the Hyperion reopens on June 30th.
But I think that show's only going to be 30 minutes or something.
It used to be 45 minutes.
I know, but they said it was going to be a shorter show. So, I don't know if it'll be as...
Well, even so, 30 minutes of air conditioning works for me. Let's see here. Okay, I'm actually. Okay, see, I was
Almost
almost caught
caught
up
up.
on questions. In your opinion, what's the best time to visit Halloween or Christmas?
Christmas.
Amy likes Christmas. I think I like Halloween. I feel like the food at Halloween's a little bit better than
Yeah,
Christmas food,
Halloween food is better,
minus
but
the gingerbread.
but Christmas, it's a small world all lit up,
Yeah.
and the Christmas parade and the gingerbread cookies puts Christmas above for me. But like fall in general, like that whole entire time, September through January is just great.
Thank you so much, Brady, for the super chat. What's your favorite ride at Disneyland and DCA? So Disneyland for me is Rise of the Resistance, and DCA is Incredicoaster. How about you?
Disneyland, probably Space Mountain. I mean, I love Rise of the Resistance too, but I feel like we hardly ever get on it is the problem. So like one that I can guarantee we can ride would be Space. DCA. Ooh, probably Incredicoaster, but I don't know. I love Radiator Racers.
Radiators is
I
amazing.
love Radiator Racers.
The standby wait is just so long.
Atrocious.
And since Benjamin's only 5, he's not 7 yet, he can't single
Wait
rider.
till we can single rider
So
that
we
one.
don't ride it that often, and it's a bummer. And Incredicoaster either because he's not tall enough yet. He's getting close, but it's something that James and I ride a little bit more often. Is Incredicoaster. Do I have a Patreon? No. I mean, I set one up once a really long time ago, but I don't do anything there. So please don't go find it and support it because there won't be any perks.
At least not right now.
At least not right now. Do I have a map for stroller parking? No, because
they change them constantly.
the locations change all the time, depending on what they're. I don't know. The cat probably down in the cat tree. So my iPhone is propped up on the cat tree to get it the right height. The cat tree is like the perfect height. So I moved the cat tree into the center of the room, and they ignore it when it's in the corner because it's like corner shaped, so it's in a corner. But then it's in the middle of the room, and they're like, "Ooh, what's this?"
I think he's batting around a marble in there too. Like,
what was I saying? Oh, stroller parking. They move the
they
stroller
move it.
parking around depending on what's going on.
Tips for stroller is buy ribbon or something that you can tie onto your stroller so you know it's yours, because cast members will frequently move strollers around. Like even if you park it in a spot, chances are it will not be in that same spot. It'll be in that same general area, but not in that same spot.
It'll be in a different row or somewhere else. The cast members like to what they do is as people pull strollers out, they're constantly adjusting them so that people don't have to go up and down aisles looking for empty spots.
They just park
so
them
they
in the
scoot
first
all the strollers over as people
and
take
then
them out.
sometimes we had parked one of ours down in front walkway, and I think because they were getting ready for like nighttime stuff, they moved all of them like way down to the end of the lane, and so that was one of those times we got back and we're like, where's our stroller? So just be aware.
What recommendations do we have for gluten-free foods? The best thing to tell you is going to be to go to our channel and use the search feature and just type in gluten, the word gluten. Our video should pop up, gluten-free Disneyland. We went to Disneyland and we tried 8 different gluten-free foods, and you can check out what our thoughts were. We don't eat gluten-free often enough to be able to like just straight up tell you where the best place to go is. From my memory, the gluten-free, I think they had a gluten-free pizza. Did they have a gluten-free pizza? No, or not. No, that's not. No, maybe that was something else.
Our favorite. I'm mixing up our vegan video and our gluten-free video.
The vegan video was very good food.
The gluten-free stuff was good too, because I remember we got something at Lucky Fortune and we couldn't even tell the difference. Our panini from Pim's, the only difference was it came on like gluten-free toast, but it was really good. If I remember correctly, Dole Whips are gluten-free, which Dole Whips are always amazing. So yeah, just go rewatch our video. The one disappointment we had was like our regular hamburger, because it just came with a gluten-free bun and it wasn't all that exciting. But
would we be able to swim at our resort during the Christmas season? So California has been really weird lately.
Because I think they heat their pools, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, you probably have heated pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to go swimming. It'd be heated pools.
It's just up to you on if you want to get out of the pool and deal with it being cold.
We've gone January or December 16th before, and it's been like 45 degrees. Which may sound amazing to some people, but it's not pool weather.
I was going to say, we went one day, and the low when we got to Disneyland was 34 degrees. It was freezing, guys.
Yeah. Heading to Disneyland and DCA in September to reduce cost, hoping to get Oogie Boogie Night and skip the parades and just do the rides. Would you recommend this? I mean, if you're going to pay for Oogie Boogie...
You want to do the candy trails.
You really want to do the candy trails. You can skip the parade. The parade wasn't anything fantastic. But, I mean, Oogie Boogie is expensive. If you're just concerned about rides, just buy Genie Plus. That's going to be your best bet for rides. Going to Disneyland at the end of May with a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. Any recommendations for the little one? So I am going to be putting together a video, hopefully, well, probably not before you go at the end of May, unfortunately. So,
go to Fantasyland first.
There's a really old video on my channel, really old video. You can search for Disneyland for babies, Disneyland rides for babies. It's basically anything you can do without a height requirement, and there are 26 rides between the two parks that don't have height requirements, and that will tell you the rides that you can do. Additionally, you can watch a video from a couple weeks ago that we did Disneyland without rides, and you can still have a really awesome and fun-filled day and not ride a single ride at Disneyland. Both of those are going to be helpful for little ones. Haven't had a chance to ride Mickey and Minnie. When is the best time for that one? So between 9 and 10 a.m. is going to be lower than rope drop. It's also the lowest wait you'll see all day long until 10 p.m. Because the Mickey Minnie's closes from 8 to 10 for fireworks. And it reopens. They literally empty Toontown. Like the whole of Toontown is emptied. And then they'll reopen Toontown at 10. And, I mean, if you're still up at 10, that's a really good time to go and hop in the rope drop line for getting into Toontown at 10 p.m. That's another really great time for it. And we're still skittering a little bit, but I think the live stream is hanging in there. Had a Knott's Pass for 10 years. Is Disneyland worth it for an annual pass? I'm a solo tripper in the parks.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's really hard to answer questions on whether something's going to be worth it to you or not. So if you buy the most expensive pass, it's $15.99, I think. And you have to ask yourself how many times you're going to go that you would have spent other things. So if it's like $179 for one day, that means you have to go 10 times to really make it worth it at the highest level pass. If you get some of the lower level passes, like Amy's Pass, used to allow weekends, but from this point forward, there are no weekends.
There's no Saturdays.
No Saturdays. Oh, yeah. Well, I think they got rid of Sundays, too, didn't they, at some point?
Well, they've gotten rid of some, but not all of them.
Not all of them. Some of the Sundays are available on Enchant. That ticket's like $600, and we figure by the 4th or 5th visit we've paid for it. You just have to do some math, figure out whether or not
and if the
you would go off
and if the blackout dates work for you.
Oh yeah, and if the blackout dates work, that's another consideration. Thank you for answering our question. We went to Disney World visiting from the Northeast and had no problem going swimming when it was a low of 55, 60. Disney World is totally different. Disney World is humid, and it stays warm through the evenings at Disney World. I mean, you're talking about hitting a low of 55, 60. California hits a low of 35. 40. And it can be frigid. But if you're from the Northeast, you probably still think it's warm, because if you're coming at Christmas time, you're going to be thinking like, oh, it's 0 degrees. 40 degrees is going to feel better than 0.
We're wimps. That's all it comes down to.
We are absolutely wimps. let's see. Jeff is heading out. See you later, Jeff. Thanks for joining us again. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. Jeff was one of our faithful viewers who always joined us before. So happy to see you here, Jeff. And have a good night. Let me see other questions here. I've seen the prices fluctuate for purchasing Lightning Lane. I wanted to know what's the highest price you've seen. Disney World, the highest price I've seen is $35. Disneyland, the highest I've seen is $30. I think the 30 I've seen. Generally, it fluctuates like around the 25 to 27 range. When we just went on Friday, it was 25. Magic Key Pass holders get 20% discount, so we paid 20. So that was nice. Would 9 to 10 a.m. also be a good time for Indiana Jones?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
So it's like 40 minutes at rope drop, and at 9 o'clock when we had our fast pass on Friday, it was 25 minutes.
I suppose. And 25
so
minutes
it went down. I would say so. I would say 9 to 10 is probably a good time for all the busy rides because everyone rushes there at rope drop. And then they go somewhere else.
If you see Indiana Jones less than like 35 minutes, get in line.
Yeah. Which restaurant is the best place for character dining? Ooh, another character dining question.
We don't honestly know because we haven't done it, but everything I've heard is Storytellers for breakfast. But if you don't want breakfast, then you need to go to
Goofy's Kitchen.
I think it's the only one that does dinner.
How many rides can one do in one day on average without? Oh, okay.
Without?
I'm gonna say, and I saw the Genie Plus, and I was about to tell you, oh, you can get them all done if you push it. Without
10? No, 10. It depends what you ride.
On average, yeah.
8 to 10.
10.
8. It depends on what time of the day you go. I mean, if you're going like rope drop to like, let's say 8 o'clock at night, like you say, then I would say maybe like 8.
And if you're focusing on thrill rides, if you go straight to Fantasyland, I bet you could get 10 rides done in the first 2 hours. If you go straight to Fantasyland.
Yeah, but those are all little rides.
They are all little rides, and they're all 2.5 minutes long. But you could get, numbers wise, you could pound out a lot of rides if you go straight to Fantasyland. If you're talking, Big Thunder, Space, Indiana Jones, Matterhorn, I would say the average is going to be 8 to 10 for a day without Genie Plus. With Genie Plus, we managed to ride 18 of the 20 Genie Plus rides in a single day.
18?
Yeah, 18 of the 20 Genie Plus rides.
We only got 11.
This most recent trip, we weren't utilizing it as much. We had a sit-down meal. We did Fantasmic and Wondrous Journeys, and we went back to our hotel, and we only got 11 done. But
we honestly took a lot of time for Fantasmic and the fireworks.
Yeah.
And so.
Yep.
Oh, and we waited for Rise, which we waited like 45 minutes for that. Yeah. If you want a guaranteed walk-on, just go ride the canoes in the middle of the afternoon.
CKL saying good night. So have a good night. Thanks for hanging out and asking so many questions. Happy to answer them. Just to let you all know as well, we are going to put a hard stop on the chat at 10 o'clock our time. So that's 18 minutes from now, just because we need to get to bed too. Love hanging out with you guys. Usually our chats are from 8 to 9. Since we haven't done one in a while, I'm happy to extend beyond 9. You guys are asking really great questions. We'll close that a little early if the questions, because I've noticed the questions are starting to slow down now. Actually, now's a really great time if you're still watching and haven't had your question answered, ask it now, because I haven't seen a new question in the last couple of seconds here. So now is going to be a great time, of course, to do that. But Angie says, because we can't rope drop and can't stay late with little kids, I don't know when will be the best time to go. I've been tracking the tip board, and the line is horrendous, including the Genie Plus return window.
Ride?
I think they're talking about Indiana Jones. Yeah. So, yeah, Indiana Jones is the ride that goes the quickest on Genie Plus. I think it's extra popular right now too because it was closed for refurb and they actually changed some things on it. So there's a couple new scenes and everyone really wants to go and see
Yeah,
new scenes.
that should die down,
It's
hopefully.
still a popular attraction, but right now it's a little extra popular more so than normal because of that. Um,
No,
once
let me. I'll
so
go over
once
there.
hyperspace opens, I think you'll get a lot of rope drop crowds heading to hyperspace. So that's another thing. But hyperspace is only for a limited time. Um, the kitty is
Yeah.
definitely a very very pretty kitty. When booking dining reservations 60 days out, what time do reservations release? Oh, that I have heard the same thing. She said I have heard as early as 3 a.m. Pacific. I have heard different stories from different people.
Mm.
It's supposed to be 6 a.m. That's what
What
it's
we've
supposed to
heard.
be.
Yeah.
I've heard that it can drop at 3 a.m. I really don't know what to tell you. I do know that it drops for resort guests. I think it drops for resort guests at 3 a.m. for sure. It definitely drops earlier for resort guests. So if at 6 a.m. it just opens up and you find nothing's available, even at 6 a.m., it's probably because resort guests scoop them up. My best suggestion for you is to sign up for alerts on Mouse Dining. Usually, someone will drop reservations for Blue Bayou. That's a very, very popular one at Disneyland. And I set up alerts for Blue Bayou. And I got a couple of alerts for like 8 or 7 o'clock in the evening, and we don't usually eat that late. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pass those up. I got a couple of notifications before the best time for me arrived, and I found one at like 5 o'clock in the evening, and I snagged those right away. You get the email pretty much as soon as they become available, and I've never had a alert come in from Mouse Dining where I didn't immediately go looking for it and it was already gone. So if you just do it right when you get the Mouse Dining alert, you should be able to snag a reservation for what you need. Um, what are your thoughts on the new theming for Splash Mountain? I cannot pass any judgment until I see it. Simple answer. You could ask me about any ride retheme. What would I have said about Tower of Terror being rethemed? Oh, I can't believe they're taking away Tower of Terror. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. She hates it,
I hate it.
but I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's
I don't
amazing.
hate the movie. I just hate the constant bouncing, guys.
Yeah.
So it's nothing against the movie.
Yeah, it's not the movie, it's the ride. I love the new theme. So,
But at the same time, I don't know. I love Splash. And I'm mad. I guess what I'm more mad about, and this I can throw judgment on them, is I'm mad they've taken out Zippity Doodah out of like, music loops in the park. Like, come on, guys. We can't have a Zippity Doodah day anymore. Like that part, I'm annoyed about. But as far as the ride, yeah, we're not gonna judge it until we see it.
any tips for pregnant women?
Your
Um,
video that
Yeah, the same video that I put together for babies is going to have the list that all the pregnant people can ride. So
you
the
need to
same
redo
rides.
that one,
I
don't
do.
you?
I'm planning on redoing it. People have asked that I redo it. It's really old. It's outdated. There's some rides on there that aren't listed anymore. Like, pretty sure Mickey and Minnie's, you can add to that list. But the top tips for pregnant people are going to be just, you take advantage of the shows so you can get off your feet. I mean, obviously, Amy has been in the parks pregnant, so she's the better one to answer this. What are some tips?
Take it slow. Don't overwork yourself. I mean, we went as late as what, like 35 weeks pregnant or something, or 36 weeks, I think.
I'm not sure.
I was
I couldn't
it was
remember.
pretty late because I remember going in August and I was due in September with Benjamin. Um, but yeah, I mean, use your best judgment because like even rides like Pirates, yes, you can ride it. However, I feel like towards the end of when I was pregnant, like I didn't even ride that ride because it still bumps you around quite a bit. Um, but enjoy the shows. Make sure you drink enough water because you're gonna be walking a lot, stuff like that. So it definitely makes it a different experience going when you're pregnant than when you're not.
Chelsea asks, can Magic Key holders park hop any day after 11? Or do I need to make reservations for both parks? No, just you make reservations for one park, and that's your starting park. And then at 11, you can hop. There's no need to make. I don't even think you can make reservations for both parks. But by being a Magic Key holder, you automatically have a hopper, so you can use it. No problem there. Do I prefer hyperspace or normal? Hyperspace all the way for me, but that's the Star Wars fan in me. I love regular. I love our regular better than Walt Disney World because Walt Disney World doesn't even have music. I think our music, like our regular, is awesome.
Plus, at least you get to sit next to somebody.
But there's just something about going up the lift hill and hearing red leader, blue 1 signing in, blue 2 signing in, blue 3 signing in. Yeah, and then the music playing. Oh, I just love it. As a Star Wars fan, I love hyperspace. Is trying to get 10 people dining reservations a pipe dream?
Split it.
Yeah, you're going to be better off
5 and 5.
splitting your party,
and
I
then
think.
You can always let them know when you show up that you have 2 groups of 5 and see what they do.
They might be able to put tables next to each other.
The other option is call up Disney Dining. Do it beforehand, just see what they say what to do. But, so, like, don't wait until that day when dining opens. But the online system is not going to let you book for 10 people.
Has there ever been a baby born at Disney? I don't know.
Doubt it.
I don't know. It's a good question. One I definitely don't have the answer to. But it would be like one of those things. Well, Disney wouldn't give them access for life. You know how you like have a baby at Starbucks and Starbucks give you like Starbucks for life or something like that. I don't think Disney does that. I'm having to scroll up to look for questions. No questions that's sitting at the bottom there. Have you eaten at Carnation Cafe? Yes. And how was it? What would you recommend to order? Wow, I don't really remember the food there anymore, but I felt like they might have had a brisket sandwich, which was really good.
You had, I don't know, what did you have?
They had a brisket sandwich. Didn't they have a brisket sandwich?
We had brisket on like mac and cheese. We had like a mac and cheese.
Carnation Cafe menu. I gotta look it up now.
And apparently there was a baby born at Disneyland.
Oh, nice. They probably didn't get free admission for the rest of their life.
No, they didn't.
Just quickly brought up the menu for Carnation Cafe.
Braised short rib is what we
Braised short rib. That's what I got.
Because didn't we split it or something?
No, you ordered your own thing.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Braised short rib was amazing. That video is on the channel too. If you search for Carnation Cafe, you can see that one. The only ones we don't have videos for on the channel are Blue Bayou. I think so. Yeah, we have every other sit down at Disney except for Blue Bayou.
For like hotel ones.
Oh yeah, and the hotel ones. But all the ones in the theme parks, we have videos for all of them on the channel. Blue Bayou, we're taking care of in June, so that one will get knocked out here soon.
Now I'm hungry. I mean, I'm hungry anyway, but we're talking about food.
When do tickets get released for Halloween celebrations? If I recall,
soon.
Sometime in June.
It should be soon, because they just announced like all the Halloween stuff today.
Yeah, sometime soon. Going to Disneyland and figuring my rope trap strategies with 3 kids under 9. How young is the youngest? That's going to be the bar, because I've got 2 kids under 9. And so pretty much any of our videos, well, okay, if you're going tomorrow, you don't have time to watch any of our videos. No. Yeah, just let me know what the age of the youngest is. And
height. If they're over 40,
height, yeah.
If they're over
height.
40 inches, almost 1.
Is Never mind. It says almost T. 5. Oh. 5. There you go.
So if they're over 40 inches, I would say go to like Space Mountain, then go to Fantasyland. Go to Space Mountain, Matterhorn, then go to Fantasyland. That way, like, you can ride some of those rides. Maybe pop over to Big Thunder Mountain around that time in the first 2 hours, too.
Yeah, 42 inches is good for space.
Make sure you go to bed soon, too, so you can get up early enough.
Yeah, show up for rope drop. That's, you're asking for rope drop.
Which is why we're telling you to go to bed.
Yeah, if you are staying at a Disneyland resort and you're in a Disneyland hotel right now, you'll get early entry. Take advantage of early entry. If you are not staying in a Disneyland resort,
get to the gates around 7:15, 7:30. 7:30.
We showed up at 7:30, and we were pretty much at the front of the Space Mountain line. That was a pretty good spot for Space Mountain line.
What's tomorrow though? Ow! Sorry, the cat bit me.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for watching. Much appreciate that. Will Disneyland ever bring back Paint the Night? There's rumors.
There's rumor. Ow, ow, ow,
She's
ow,
biting.
Ow, 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 ow.
Just kick her off.
I'm trying to. She keeps hopping back on.
The cat's letting Amy know that she misses her lap because she sits on Amy's lap all evening. So she's like, "I want your lap." Well, oh, you're staying at the Tropicana. Okay, yeah, that's right
Sean,
across the street there.
you.
Oh yes. Sorry, Sean. Thank you so much for the super chat. Definitely appreciate that very, very much. Taking my wife for the first time in September. I'm so excited. Do you have any info on when to buy Oogie Boogie Bash tickets?
Just keep an eye on that.
Let me
haven't announced dates.
No, I know, but I'm gonna look. I should have
bought it
receipts. I should have receipts for my last year one. Here it is. When did I? June 28th. That's when I bought it last year, June 28th. So that's when I would expect them to come out again this year, probably towards the end of June. Could always be earlier. Just keep an eye out. The best thing to do is follow Disney on social media. And I'll post something. It won't be in a video or anything, but I'll post something. Community post and probably on Instagram, just letting people know that Oogie Boogie Bash tickets are going on sale. Because that's one that I always go to. So I'll be booking tickets for that again. And let's see here.
And once again, guys, if you don't get your questions answered tonight, especially because we are logging off in 5 minutes because we need to get to bed, feel free to email us, Facebook message us, Instagram message us, anything like that, and we can answer your questions.
Joss just asked if we ever do the special After Dark events. I'm thinking about doing them moving forward. The channel is so... A little bit of history of the channel. I posted my very first video in November of 2019, and then COVID hit, and obviously there wasn't anything really going on. So I didn't post any new videos on the channel from really the beginning of 2020 till 2021. In the beginning of 2021, I had 10 subscribers, and I started posting going back into theme parks when they started to reopen at the beginning of 2021. And really, for the last 2 years, from 2021 to 2023, we've just been slowly chugging along. I reached 6,000 subscribers, and we've been going to Disneyland the whole time, but our videos couldn't break through the barrier of the saturation that is Disneyland. I posted one video that went relatively, viral as Disneyland goes, as far as I'm considering. It's at 74,000 views right now in 3 months, and that's my Disneyland food guide video. That was the first one that really broke through the barrier, and we have just started getting Disneyland subscribers. So I haven't been doing up until now, I haven't been doing a lot of things Disney focused because they weren't financially smart for me. But I'm going to start looking at doing more special events, more things that are specific to Disneyland that cost money, because I know you guys are going to be watching them now. Like, for instance, and I know if this is boring you, I'm sorry. I went to Oogie Boogie last year, spent the $140 or whatever it costs to go to Oogie Boogie, and it got 2,000 views through the entire duration of the season. And that didn't even come close to paying back what I spent to go. And now I can post a video about a hotel that people don't find interesting, and it's at 3,000 views in a day. So I definitely am going to start doing more nighttime events. That's the long roundabout answer to answer that question. Just I haven't done yet, but I want to start doing them. I just
so the more we grow, the more
Yes.
we do for you guys.
The more we grow, the more we do. Woo! Hit the like button when you see videos. Easiest way to help us grow. It's free.
And comment.
And leave a comment. Both of those things help. They're free. They don't cost you anything, and they help the channel. Hitting the like button, leaving comments on every video. I will answer too. I will literally answer every comment that you leave.
Unless you...
Well, if you just say, great video, I'll give you a heart, and that's it. But If you ask a question, I'll say something. Or if you even have an opinion about something, I'll respond. You know, like someone said earlier, it's so funny to see you guys complaining about 45 degrees. I'm from Canada, where 45 degrees is as warm as it gets in the middle of the summer. And I think it's great. And I just responded like, you know, freezing face. and, and, and then I said, we both grew up in northern states, but we've acclimated to here. So, you know, I do respond things like that. Um, but I love to respond. So yes. Oh boy, if there, oh, I'm trying to see questions here. If you were going to rope drop Space Mountain, what would you select as your first genie ride? Indy. You see that video tomorrow. That video
watch tomorrow's
yeah,
video.
that video is
guys.
posted tomorrow. You'll have lots of help with Genie tomorrow. If there's no height restrictions, Genie Plus isn't needed. That's not necessarily true because Haunted Mansion can get hour-long waits and it has no height
Especially at
requirements.
Christmas.
And it's on Genie Plus. It's a small world. Lately has had no line. But it's on Genie Plus.
At Christmas, especially.
At Christmas, it's definitely necessary. It's a waste right now. Don't use Genie Plus, and It's a Small World right now. But that is on Genie Plus. Trying to think of some other height requirement. Oh, Buzz.
They said something that's for a DAS question, not.
What? Oh, sorry.
I think they were answering their own questions back and
Oh,
forth.
my bad. Sorry. Yeah, DAS. I don't know anything about DAS, unfortunately. David Big Red, who I've turned into a moderator here on the channel. He's one of my friends. He has a buddy who has a DAS pass, so I'm just gonna let him answer any DAS questions. Haunted Mansion can get hour-long waits. Yes, yeah, it can. It did during spring break. I saw it at 55 minutes hour. Also, not spring break. If you come between September and December, those 4 months, it can get hour-long waits because the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay is very popular. Very popular. Disneyland next month. Staying at Candy Cane. Awesome. Yay. Love Candy Cane.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we need to write them about referrals.
Let's see here. Yes. It's 10 o'clock. Last question. Ariana says, not Disney related, but did you see the Arctic Rescue at SeaWorld will be opening next month? They have an opening date?
No, I just Googled. They did not have an opening date yet, guys.
Okay. I will be the first to know once they because I'm on their media list.
They have not announced anything yet.
I'll be invited to their media preview, and
which we have a feeling will happen when we're in Hawaii.
If it does, it's a bummer. But if it's not when we're in Hawaii, we'll probably be the first video that exists about Arctic Rescue. I am I told you I'm sort of OCD about things, and I want to be first. I've always wanted to be first growing up too, but so I like to be first. I'll probably have the first Oogie Boogie Bash video that's out too, just as a heads up. I won't be the streamers in the park, and I don't stream.
Ariana,
but
they posted that under pass holder benefits long time ago. The last time we got any updates was when we had the hard hat tour there, and they said they have been majorly delayed by all the rain we've been getting, and they had no idea when they were going to be opening yet. They just haven't given any updates as far as like anything. It's been radio silence in the past month, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not this next month because they haven't started doing, like you said, they haven't announced any media preview yet. They haven't announced, when pass holder previews are going to start, anything like that.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's after 10 o'clock, and as much as I would love to keep chatting with you guys, but we definitely need to head to bed here soon. Amy's usually asleep on the couch by now, just so you know. She gets up a lot earlier than I do, generally speaking, to get the kids ready for school, take them to school, and all that sort of thing. And work. So we're gonna say goodnight. If we didn't answer your question, I still would be happy to answer your questions. Just drop them if they're pressing. If you were just asking questions because it's a live stream and you just wanted to ask a question, that's fine. But if it's a pressing question you desperately need an answer to, just drop it on any of our YouTube videos, and I am always happy to answer them. Alternatively, if it's something you don't want to post publicly, you can always send us a message on Instagram and Facebook. If it's Facebook, it'll be me. If it's Instagram, it'll be Amy. And we will get back with you as soon as we can. Thanks for watching, guys. As a reminder, please hit the like button when you see our videos, just to help spread the love around, so that YouTube shares our videos with more people and they can learn and start planning their trips too. Again, thanks for watching. We will hopefully do this live stream again, and we'll let you know when we're going to do that.